The Galactic Council chamber fell silent when Ambassador Kale walked in. It wasn't the respectful silence that greeted the crystalline Vextar or the reverent hush for the ancient Korin. It was the uncomfortable, almost embarrassed quiet that humans had grown accustomed to across the stars. Kyle had heard the whispers countless times. Grotesque. Unpleasant. How unfortunate for their species. Mine galaxy's aesthetic standards were remarkably consistent, and humanity fell devastatingly short of every single one. He took his seat at the diplomatic table, watching as the Seraphim delegate physically recoiled, her 4 elegant eyes blinking in rapid succession. Across from him, Trade Minister Vexcor of the Dominion shifted uncomfortably, his chromatic skin dulling to a sickly gray, a physiological response to discomfort. Ambassador, Vexcor began, his translator working overtime, we appreciate Earth's persistence in these negotiations. Persistence. That was the polite word. Desperation would be more accurate. 3 years since first contact, and humanity remained on the outskirts of galactic civilization. Oh, they'd been granted provisional membership in the Council, given a token seat at the table. But trade agreements? Cultural exchanges? Military alliances? Those required something Earth couldn't provide: acceptance. The meeting proceeded as Kale expected. Proposals politely declined. Opportunities not quite right at this time. The Vextar actually apologized for the lighting in the chamber, suggesting it made him look even more unfortunate than usual. As the session ended, Kale gathered his materials with practiced dignity. He'd developed a thick skin over the years. Still, it stung Ambassador Kale. He turned to find a young Lyrian female approaching. The Lyrians were considered among the most beautiful species in the galaxy, bipedal, with skin that shimmered like starlight, and features that seemed sculpted by artists rather than evolution. This one was younger than most delegates, perhaps early 20s in human years. Her eyes were closed. I am Lyria, she said, her voice melodic. Daughter of High Counselor Theron. Kale knew the name. Theron commanded significant influence, particularly in trade negotiations. An honor, Miss Lyria. I wanted to apologize for the Council's behavior, she continued. My father speaks of your species' innovations, your resilience. He says humans possess qualities that transcend appearance. It was kind, Kale thought, but ultimately empty comfort. Good manners from someone who couldn't see him. You're very gracious, he replied carefully. Walk with me? She extended her hand, and Kale noticed the subtle technological implant at her temple. A neural interface. She was blind, he realized, navigating through advanced sensory technology. They walked through the Council's garden habitat, a biodome showcasing flora from hundreds of worlds. Lyria moved with surprising confidence, her fingers occasionally brushing against leaves and bark. My brother Soren is a fool, she said abruptly. Kyle blinked. I'm sorry? He's the one who suggested the lighting comment. He thinks himself clever. She paused beside a fountain, tilting her head toward the sound of water. He's also afraid. Of humans. Of what you represent. Lyria smiled, and even without sight, her expression held warmth. You've been in space only 3 years, yet you've developed faster-than-light communications that surpass our best systems. Your medical technology reversed genetic degradation in the Korin. Your music, oh, Ambassador, your music moved my father to tears. Kyle remained silent, uncertain where this was leading. The galaxy judges by appearance because it's easy, Lyria continued. But I've spent my life understanding beings through other senses. Vibration patterns, thermal signatures, the electromagnetic fields that surround living creatures. She turned toward him, her closed eyes somehow finding his face. Humans radiate something unique: intensity, passion, curiosity that burns like a star. That's poetic, Kale managed. My father sent me here with a proposal. Lyria's tone shifted, becoming more formal. The Lyrian ascendancy wishes to establish a marriage alliance with Earth, a union between our houses. Kyle's heart hammered. Marriage alliances were the ultimate diplomatic connection, reserved for species of equal standing. That's unprecedented. My father believes humanity will reshape the galaxy. He wants Lyria positioned as your first true ally. She paused. And my brother, in his infinite wisdom, suggested I would be the appropriate candidate. After all, I cannot see how unfortunate you look. The insult landed like a physical blow. Kale felt heat rising in his face, anger and humiliation warring in his chest. But Lyria laughed. It wasn't cruel laughter. It was genuine amusement, bright and uninhibited. "My brother is an idiot," she said again. "He thinks he's insulted me, made me the sacrifice. He doesn't understand that I see more clearly than anyone in that council chamber." She stepped closer, and Kale found himself frozen as her hand reached up, fingertips hovering inches from his face. "May I?" Wordlessly, he nodded, then realized she couldn't see the gesture. Yes, her fingers touched his cheek, light as breath. They traced the strong line of his jaw, the bridge of his nose, the curve of his brow. Her head tilted, processing information his appearance alone couldn't convey. "You've seen combat," she murmured. "Old scars here and here. You carry tension in your shoulders, the weight of representing your entire species." Her fingers found his temple. "But beneath that there's determination. Unbreakable will." Her hand dropped away. "Ambassador Kale, I don't need eyes to see that you're exactly the kind of human I want to bind my future to. Strong, resilient, worthy." Kale stared at her, this blind alien princess who saw more than any being he'd met among the stars. "And," Lyria added with a mischievous smile, "when I present you to the council as my chosen partner, when they see that the daughter of High, Counselor Theron has chosen a human freely, not despite their appearance, but because of who they truly are, the galaxy will have to reconsider everything they think they know." For the first time since arriving at the council, Ambassador Kale smiled. "That," he said, "sounds like the beginning of a beautiful partnership." Lyria extended her hand. "Then let's show the galaxy what they've been too blind to see."